I mean, going into like our next topic, you look at, okay, they added KD, then they also added Clint Capella, then they re-signed Steven Adams, then they added Dorian Finney-Smith. Um, so like their center lineup, especially, center I feel like has become a weaker position outside of like the top couple in the past couple of years.
Hmm.
So having three guys who you can competently play at center, um, I mean, I think Capella could still be a starter on a decent team. Maybe not
Yeah.
Steven Adams, but you have starter-ish level guys as your backups, and then just all the wings that they have. And I mean, yeah, their offseason moves have really put them in it. Honestly, it feels like what OKC did last year when OKC added Caruso and Hartenstein. Now they didn't add KD, but they kind of already had that in Shea. So I think, yeah, this just kind of reminds me of that type of offseason, and I'm expecting a crazy year from them.
Yeah, and I'm just also wondering, like, how much cap space y'all had to sign all these dudes, dog? I kept
Man,
getting
I'm trying to figure it
notifications from
out.
all y'all. And I was like, yo, what the hell? Like you said, Dorian Finney-Smith, 4-year, 53 mil. Fred VanVleet, 2-year, 50 mil. Clint Capella, 3-year, 21 mil. And then the mid-level exception for Jeff Green, Aaron Holiday, Tate, and then you said Steven Adams too. So it's kind of cool to see, like, I guess you can say in this new era, as far as like having two bigs on the floor, I'm thinking of like the Lakers from the bubble, and then we kind of went away from that. Joker ended up winning, and then we kind of brought that back with Minnesota, and then we saw that a little bit more this year with OKC. So it seems like teams are going back. We don't have traditional bigs anymore, but teams are going back to a two-man lineup, or at least having an option to have a two-man lineup depending on who they play. And then obviously, with analytics, it's threes, it's close shots and free throws, and now we're kind of seeing, let seeing players rocking on the mid range as well too. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll give them an A plus, honestly. Like you said, they have their guards, they have their forwards, they have their two-way players in defense, and they have their centers as well too. Only thing I am kind of concerned about, I mean, obviously they took Golden State 7 games, and if Jalen Green was just regular season Jalen Green, it's a different story. But I know Sengun can score. He had a somewhat up and down at some point in the series, but like, who do you see being that other guy that you need when it's all said and done to take it to the promised land, or is it going to kind of be like that Indiana Pacers type of situation where it's by committee? Because Amin Thompson, obviously he hasn't figured out his jump shot yet. I'm assuming obviously he's working on it, but who do you see on that depth chart that you're like, all right, like if KD, I mean KD's gonna have it going, but when he's getting doubled and someone else has to create, who you see that you think Jabari Smith Jr. is going to be that one taking that leap?
Not Jabari Parker, man, that's a sad story. But no, I don't think that Jabari Smith is going to be. He could be. He looked decent in limited minutes. But I think the fact that he got demoted, I don't think that he's going to find all of a sudden a bunch more minutes now that they brought in KD and they're kind
Hmm.
of both that four spot. Um, Yeah, so I mean, I think Şengün is definitely going to be the guy that they're looking to next. I mean, he averaged 21, I think, in that series, and he was their only
Hmm.
consistent player. So I think to me, he's stamped. He had a great regular season the past 2 years, and he showed up when they needed him to in the playoffs. It is always interesting though, like looking at a center stats versus the Warriors, because the Warriors don't have
Small ass
big.
team.
So yeah, centers always go off against them. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see him against another team. But yeah, I think he's going to be number two. And then you kind of, I mean, Thompson was really a demon. Like he still averaged like 15 a game, I think, with no jump shot, just getting downhill. And I don't think he's all of a sudden going to be an amazing jump shooter next year, but I think he'll be passable.
Hmm.
So he's probably next. And if they decide to give Cam Whitmore any burn, he's a bucket every time. Fred Van
Yeah.
can actually score too. So I mean, they have, yeah, I think they're gonna be fine, and they're gonna have a little bit of a committee thing, but I think it's gonna be probably like the top three is gonna be KD, Şengün, and then Thompson.
Hmm. And as far as starting five, what do you kind of say? I think right now I have Fred VanVleet and Thompson in the backcourt, and then front court Sengun, Jabari, and then probably KD. Who do you got?
That's my only thing is I don't know if I have uh Thompson starting at the two, but who was their two guard last year? I guess Dylan Brooks technically.
So they have who they have? Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green.
Oh, Jalen Green. That was their two. Duh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I don't know how I feel about Amon Thompson starting at the two. I don't think that's super smart.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I feel like they have enough shooting. With Fred VanVleet, KD, and Jabari, if that is the route they want to go, because Amen can just be that slasher. But um, we'll kind of see how that goes. Because obviously, with this trade happening, they're looking like they're gonna eventually give the keys to him along with Sengun. But I'm not mad if he comes off the bench. But I feel like for defense, I think they're gonna start him.
no, I mean, he's going to start. I would say Thompson. I mean, not Thompson. Jabari Smith is the one who would go to the bench. That's
So
because
you think
that's what
another?
they
So
did to
you
him
think
last year.
another?
They brought
You
him
think
off the
another
bench.
vet? Because he started last year, and then I don't know if he hurt his hand or wrist or something
No,
like
they
that.
just
And then
started
when he
bringing him
came,
off the. I mean, he did get some injuries, but that wasn't why. They just started bringing him off the bench because
mm,
they wanted to get Thompson in the starting lineup.
yeah. But I'm also thinking too, like they just gave him that nice little rookie deal. I mean, he already got the rookie deal, so he can't be mad if he do come off the bench. But it just makes me believe he will. But I mean, they got the whole preseason training camp, regular season to figure out what they want to do as well too. So.
And that rookie
Um,
extension isn't that crazy, actually. It's like 5 years, 122 million, which
mhm.
is a little bit over like 20 something million a year. Like it's not as crazy as it sounds, especially when you look at what role players and stuff like that. Like that's basically Jakob Poeltl just got like a 5 year, $100 million deal, you know?
Ridiculous,
So
ridiculous.
that doesn't mean that they're gonna. It's one of those things where you have to just keep the asset right now because it's not fully appreciated yet.
Hmm.
And that's just kind of like what the cost of doing business is.
Yeah,
But
nah, that's some real shit. That's some real shit. So you definitely think Houston gonna be obviously the number two. You definitely think they're gonna be a top three seed in the West again.
yeah, I would, if they're not a top three seed, then it is a referendum on Kevin Durant. If
Mm,
you just swapped, I know Dylan Brooks was in there too, but if you just swapped out Jalen Green from KD and now all of a sudden your team is worse, that is going to be that is going to be honestly the final straw for a lot of people in Kevin Durant's legacy.
yeah,